are listening to pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 62, Guard, part 2. Last time, when we spoke about specific skill guard, we spoke about the connection between our sleep and how our sleep situation, how it feels, and our guard. Our sleep and our guard being up or down is connected. Last time, when we spoke about this connection between sleep and guard, we spoke about that we cannot willingly raise or lower our guard, but that our guard is up when it's up for good reason, and that our guard is lowering itself when it is safe to do so. So the last episode about guard was a lot about this, that we must not judge ourselves when we cannot lower our guard willingly, to not beat ourselves up when we seem to lie awake for hours, that falling asleep is not something we can force. Sleep is something that sort of happens on its own terms. And those terms, the terms of sleep, is connected to our goal, which is predictability. When we have predictability, our sleep situation will feel different. It will feel much more relaxed. Today's episode, on the other hand, today's episode is about when we do not have predictability. Today's episode is about when our guard is up. Today's episode is about it's about when we are in such a situation that our guard is up all the time. Today we will talk about what that does to us when our guard is up all the time. When there is little or no predictability at all. If we just straight away get to the point, how is it to live with no predictability when our guard is up constantly? It is tiring. It is draining. It wears our immune system down. We are tense in our bodies. We are aching. Our thoughts are spinning. Sleep is sporadic at best and often non-existent. And even when we do sleep, sleep does not really feel like sleep. When we have no predictability and our guard is constantly up, we are hypervigilant. We are checking everyone and everything. We obsess over details. We obsess over tiny details. When our guard is up constantly, we get high strung. So we question everyone and everything. When our guard is up, we accomplish a lot, but feel no satisfaction from it. We think in terms of, I'm just supposed to be able to do this. There are no celebrations. There are no times for pausing. Never do we pause and just recognize our effort. Never do we pause and just, I don't know, acknowledge what we're doing. When we have no predictability and our guard is constantly up, time is moving very fast, or we seem to have little concept of time at all. We are more focused on doing one thing after the other. When we have no predictability, and when our guard is constantly up, silence can feel claustrophobic. Silence can feel deafening and almost itchy. If we have lived in unpredictability for a sustained period of time, then predictability, once we actually get it, will feel foreign to us. Predictability takes time to get used to. Predictability and related feelings such as safety and these small joys of life. These feelings, predictability, safety, small joys, they are almost at another frequency, like another part of ourselves. And lowering our guard, or more correctly, our guard lowering itself, sometimes it doesn't happen just like that. Sometimes it can take a really long time for our guard to go down. Sometimes the predictability, the safety, the small joys will feel odd for the longest time. That is one of the reasons for this podcast. Pause. That pausing and pausing in a predictable place, or pausing in an unpredictable place for that matter, it can feel very unnatural to pause in a place like that. And this podcast, my company, to spend time with me, this is one step to acknowledge that pausing is difficult. However, pausing is difficult, yes, but pausing is the gateway to making a change of our choice in life. Pausing is sort of like the crossroads or the intersection where once we pause, we can look up and decide which direction to go in. So, if you find yourself in a place where you feel odd or foreign or like your guard is never coming down, then pausing in any way you can is critical to gain a choice. By pausing, you will gain a greater influence on what you want to choose. And for every time you do it, you will accumulate a space inside yourself where you will create a foundation of choice. In conclusion, last time when we spoke about specific skill guard, we spoke about the connection between our guard being up or down and how our sleep situation feels. And we also spoke about that our guard seems to go up and down on its own terms, and that we are not as influential over our guard as we want to believe. Today we have spoken about how it feels when our guard is constantly up. We have spoken about how it feels when there is no predictability. And we have spoken about how if we have gotten used to unpredictability, if our guard has been up for a sustained period of time, then predictability will feel odd once we actually get it. And we have also spoken about that if we want to gain a choice, if we want to be able to choose in which direction to go, we can practice pausing. We can listen to this podcast and create a space inside ourselves, a pausing space. That's it for today. Thank you.